What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's another banger. You guys already know what it is. We're dropping some actual knowledge about Facebook ads, some insightful knowledge. But one thing I just want to let you guys know, we actually have a Facebook ads expert, somebody that's been killing it with the game. So this is actually Alex Profits. If you guys want to go follow him or whatever, you guys can. Link is in the description. First link, his channel. He's been killing on YouTube, been dropping so much content on YouTube and doing his thing. So one thing I just want to let you guys know is that essentially I've been teaching you guys so much about Instagram. There's so much that I've been telling you guys about Instagram, and I've been telling you guys that you guys need to go from Instagram and gather that pixel data, create lookalike audiences, do custom conversions, and essentially go to Facebook. That's the ultimate goal, to get to Facebook. Well, there's somebody that I actually stumbled across and was able to mastermind with and trade information with Instagram, and he gave me some information about Facebook, who's actually an expert in what he does. He's been killing it. What, 30K day was it that you did?
30K day.
30K day, 80K in 2 weeks, has been killing it, knows exactly what he's doing. But just to mention, like, this wasn't overnight. He's not somebody that just had the success. He ranged from going from 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 and had that gradual success growing, but essentially went through his hardships and definitely knew like what it feels like to fail, what a lot of people are going through, what I felt like I was going through and all that stuff. So Alex, if you could introduce yourself and just tell your story about what you've been through and how you reached the point you're at.
Yep. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm 19. I've been at the e-commerce industry for about a year now. And, I started off like most people. Well, basically the fact being that, I had a 9 to 5. I was in school. It was the constant struggle where, I would finish school, go to work, bust my ass for 8 hours. And then that money I had, I would basically go and, test Facebook ads with my store. Keep in mind that basically, I wasn't really aware with Facebook, you have to spend money to see things work. You have to test around products to see what works. I didn't believe in that. It was more like I thought in my head, if I spend $5 on a Facebook ad, I'll make $1,000. So my mindset back then was really messed up. It was a big cycle that was constantly failing. I'd always go home after work, test one product only with one campaign. Remember, very bad. I always thought, I was in love with one product, which I highly don't recommend. Don't fall in love with a product. I was, every day I would test that one product with one ad set, and it would always fail, because I didn't give my ads enough time. I'd spend $5, $10, and I'd see no sales. So in my head, I'm like, okay, well, I didn't make $1,000, so I'll kill the ad set. That cycle would continuously repeat every single day. Work, school, do the ad would fail, that cycle would repeat. And, I was that annoying guy. I was in many Facebook dropshipping groups, for example, Ben Malol's Facebook group and a couple others. And, every time people had results, I was always concerned, like, how do they get results and I don't have results? It makes no sense. I'm doing the same thing. But obviously there was many things I was missing out on. And I was that annoying guy also, I'd always comment on people's results on Facebook. I'd always be that annoying guy who DM'd them asking what they did, share value. I'd take that info, apply it to my current ads, and again, nothing would work. I'd spend $5, $10, no sales, nothing. I'd keep killing ads, restarting, the cycle would repeat. It would not change until the fact that I've realized that if I want this to work, I kind of have to be willing to invest in someone who's already successful in the industry to where I can use that value and apply it to my ads and see it work. This guru, I don't think he's popular anymore. I forget his name. It was like Nick Peroni or something. I'm not quite sure. I paid him for a consulting call because I wanted his value. And, I learned a lot. There was a lot of things I missed out on. The fact being that I wasn't spending enough on my ads. My product page was horrible. My product images were a total disaster. I had the AliExpress watermark on my product photos. Like, I was making so many mistakes, and I didn't even realize what I was doing wrong. So I learned all this amazing value from someone who had knowledge in the industry, applied it to my ads, and finally, after so much trial and error, over a year of trial and error, I finally saw, profitability on my ad sets, seeing sales. Finally, $100 days, to the point that I was getting $1,000 days, which I've been manifesting every day for so long. On the bus rides to school, I'd always wish one day I'm going to profit $1K a day with Facebook dropshipping. And I finally did it. And, and basically I scaled from there. I kept paying people who were knowledgeable in the industry, knew what they were doing, and applied that value to my ad sets so I can start seeing, success on my ads. To the point today where I've done almost $30,000 in gross on my Shopify store. And then from there, doing about $80,000 in revenue in just about 2 weeks. So it's been a big feat. And, I'm calm. I really know what I'm doing now. And a lot has changed since then. And I'm happy that I took action and I wasn't afraid to, keep going at it. Because the truth is, you have to just trust the process. It's not an overnight thing like Zaki says. You got to keep putting in work, see what product works. I preach this on my Instagram. It just takes one product. One product that you're dropshipping can change your life.
So, yeah, you guys heard it here. So he's been killing it. He's been through his ups and downs. He's seen his fair share of success, and he's actually reached the point where he's not even at a climax. He's just going forward. And one thing that you guys need to take away from that is he had a job, just like a lot of you guys, right? He went to school, like a lot of you guys. And one thing that I feel like I personally went through and he went through was being persistent and trusting the process. That's one thing I could grasp. And I think a lot of you guys should grasp that he preached to himself. He was doing $5 a day ad sets. He was killing them too quick. He wasn't willing to let them cook and do their magic, right? Because at the end of the day, the more you pay, the more results you get with Facebook. It's a simple fact. Everybody that's in the Facebook game knows this, that Facebook needs data, and the more you pay, the more data you get. And one initial step that Alex took was taking and finding a mentor, investing in himself, right? This is some step that a lot of you guys think is a scam. Oh, that I need to just find the information on YouTube. Well, yeah, I definitely do give a lot of free value. That's one thing I essentially give all of you guys. That's one thing I preach to a lot of you guys is free value. But to get to that next step fast, because I know for a fact Alex is smart. He would have figured it out eventually. But I know he would agree and test to this, that he wouldn't have figured it out as fast as he did if he didn't actually go and invest into himself. Don't you think so?
Yep.
So, exactly. So, one thing, like, we're just going to knock out some questions, like, I personally had before I started, and I think a lot of people have. So, one thing that I want to tell you, what do you think is the biggest, like, mistake that a lot of people make with their Facebook ads?
A big mistake with Facebook, I have to say, is strictly the interest targeting. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have a cat bracelet. Basically, targeting a broad interest or, a cat lovers, that doesn't really work due to how big the audience is. You got to go a bit more narrow. And what I mean by narrow is not narrowing, literally flex targeting your interests. It means just finding the interests where the buyers, the consumers of that audience would be. So if we're doing a cat bracelet, for example, I'm not talking about the cat lovers. I'm talking about the cat consumers. So for example, cat food. Why? Because, if you own a cat, you're already part of that demographic that buys things for their cat. That they're an owner, they spend money on their cat. So if they're going to spend money on their cat and go as far as like the food that they buy for their cat on Facebook, and I'm pretty sure they're going to spend money if they see a cat bracelet with a sweet call to action that shows they're passionate for cats, just how that consumer would be passionate for cats. You have to find the buyers. That's all I got to say for, interest targeting. And it's a big mistake many people struggle with on Facebook.
So, Alex, what do you think, how important is copy to the actual test? I don't think a lot of people grasp the idea of how important copy is and what it could make, like how big of a difference it actually can make from a successful ad and a not successful ad. So how important is it, and what do you think tips like people should use on their copy?
Usually, if you want to avoid people from just looking at your ad creative, which is the image or video, and scrolling past it, the text has to convince them a lot. So number one, make it vibrant. How do you do that? Simple. Go on one of those emoji websites and plug emojis into your description. They have to see it. If you're doing something with cats, the emojis should relate to the niche you're selling. Put cat emojis. If you're doing sports like football, put a football. And then back to the product. Whatever you're selling, you kind of have to explain the product's use and how it would, how it would look on them. So for example, if it's something you wear, you would say this would look great on you. And and then also mention the passion. So you would mention the use of the product, the passion part, and then you would mention the second line of text should be the scarcity part, where it would say only 4 left in stock, 90% have been sold out in the last 24 hours. Order yours here. You kind of have to plug in all those things. So if I were to give it to you in steps, I would say the use of the product, the passion of it, and then the scarcity. And then you'd plug your link.
I hope you guys are writing this down. I do really hope you guys are writing it. He's dropping stuff that people actually pay for, which is insane. So one thing, like the last question that I wanted to get to you was so people have, $5 ad spend is cool. A lot of people do that. How much do you recommend personally, starting with, let's say from somebody that has some money to spend, and if somebody doesn't have so much money to spend, what should they do?
This is the truth with Facebook. Every year, Facebook advertising gets continuously more expensive. The cost per acquisition on Facebook continuously rises. So, as most people have preached on YouTube, $5 a day in the USA, where there's tons of other drop shippers just like you, competing for ad space, it doesn't work anymore. $5 a day is not sufficient enough data to get you sales. Now, what I usually recommend is going a bit higher. For example, my ideal sweet spot and everyone else's sweet spot is $15 or $20. This is usually an ideal amount, usually because it's enough for Facebook to kind of, you're telling Facebook, I'm going to spend this amount of money, and it's enough for them to kind of optimize, whatever you're optimizing for, whether it be view content or purchase. And if you actually realize, if you go on your Facebook, Power Editor or wherever you go to create your ads, normally Facebook would automatically keep the budget already at $20 for you. Like it's defaultly set as $20. They want you to spend that because they're telling you, they're saying $20 is what we recommend you start with. If you go lower, you're going to get underestimated results. You might be served less on your ad. Now, in terms of not having the money to maybe spend $15 to $20 a day, here's the truth. Have a sufficient source of income. There's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5 job. There really is nothing wrong. There's no dream where you can just skip the 9-to-5. Having a 9-to-5 or any source of income, whether you're doing, arbitrage on Amazon or eBay, it doesn't matter. If you have a sufficient source of income coming in, you can use that as a nest to fund your ads. That's exactly what I did when I was starting out. I always had a nest to fund my ads, and it was never an issue. And that's basically it. You have to be willing to let Facebook collect data, serve your ad to the right people, and you'll see sales. Just be patient. I made the biggest mistake of not being patient, and don't follow in my footsteps. Learn from what I'm telling you now, and then you'll start seeing sales.
Definitely. I think you guys understand that people that have had success all preach the same thing, which is patience. And then there's all the technical stuff, right? If you guys want to learn more about Facebook ads, we're going to be working on some more stuff in the future, but definitely go check out his YouTube channel. It's the first link in the description. Go follow his socials. He's up and coming. He's actually giving some of the most value because I know a lot of people that are actually like at a couple thousand subscribers, they might put some fluff out there. You know what I mean? Don't let his subscriber count fool you because he is giving some of the best value out there. So that's essentially what I wanted. I gave you guys, he essentially gave you guys, I just asked the questions for you guys. He essentially gave you guys the most important things that you guys would need to get started with Facebook ads. And all of this could wrap around with Instagram. So essentially, if you put together what I teach you and what he just told you and are making money from Instagram and implement that money and reinvest it back into the business using Facebook, you guys will see results. It's almost guaranteed. Go check out the disclaimer. I'm just playing. There's no disclaimer. But anyways, we're going to be cutting it short. I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Peace out, guys.